Oh, hey, looks like I am live. Okay. Hi, guys. So, this is me making the mistakes and doing them even better. So, if you just spent a couple minutes of me going like, yeah, that was me trying to figure out how to go to Zoom. And do you like my hair? I don't know. So, I thought I would come on today and get a little creative and maybe get a little bit funny. This is the first time I've done Zoom to Facebook Live. So, all feedback is welcome. And yeah, I also learned how to do another thing, perhaps and maybe. So we can do this. You know, we could talk about self care today uh, because I'm feeling pretty glamorous and I put one of my paintings behind me. Do you like this lipstick? I think this lipstick is good. All right. And then we can just go straight here. And I actually look a little more like me, and I'm growing a little plant on my head. So I'm not going to be able to see if you comment, and there's a bit of a lag here, but let's just get creative and fail at this and fail a little bit better. So I was going to, whoa, got my background here. When I do my training next week, the topic that we're going to be doing Friday, the surprise one, and thanks for listening, is going to be how to fail better. And it's going to be based on a few things, but I really like what Pema Chodron has to say on it. And uh, so one of the things that she says about failure is that it feels very raw. Uh, she says, I think the most significant thing is that we usually think about failure as something that happens to us from the outside, right? We can't get in a good relationship, or we are in a relationship that ends painfully, or we can't get a job, or we are fired from the job we have, or we don't get the grades we want, or any number of things are not the way that we want them to be. And then we see that failure as something that happens to us. And then we can do a couple things. We can blame it on something outside of ourselves, like an organization, a boss, a partner, ex partner. And when we do that, we kind of move away from that rawness, that just yucky, open feeling in your heart. And you take that discomfort and you put it on someone else, or you say, this isn't my fault. And you can direct, your anger, your hurt. And instead of leaning into it and seeing it as a part of yourself, you can push it on somebody else. And this is kind of funny because I've had a pretty spectacular failure recently. And I have spent quite a bit of time being, well, all sorts of emotions, but lately it's been anger directed at somebody else. And that's the thing about failure and the thing about self compassion, which is one of the things that I want to talk a lot about, is the self-compassion is, if you look about Brené Brown, when she talks about self-compassion and vulnerability, it's this allowing yourself to feel yucky, to feel vulnerable and raw, and not try to numb it out and not try to push it away and not try to do any of those things to get out of being uncomfortable, but to just sit there and be kind to yourself and maybe even speak to yourself the way your best friend would speak to you, or the way you would speak to a close friend. If a friend called you up and said, oh God, I have screwed up so badly. I just, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so this. And then think about what you would say to them. Would you say, oh God, you're such a loser. You are never going to find anybody again. You are never going to figure this out. Just give up. Just give up and go away. I mean, we don't say that to people we love, but we say it to ourselves all the time. One of the examples that I like is, if you have kids or if you were ever a kid, so I think I've got everybody now. When a baby is trying to walk, so when you were first trying to walk when you were a child, or, if you have children or no children, you watch babies try to walk. And, they hold on to things and they fall down, and they hold on to things and they fall down. They fall down differently, and they stop holding on to things and they fall down a whole new way. And you sit there the whole time going, ugh. But what doesn't happen is you don't say, well, I guess my kid's just not going to learn how to walk. Yeah, it's just not going to work. He's just going to have to scoot around on his bum for the rest of his life. It never occurs to us to give up, for a child to give up learning how to walk. It's just like you got to keep trying. But somewhere between learning to walk as a baby and being an adult and coming up against situations that you don't seem to be able to get past, we get it in our head that failure is something that's bad and not a learning experience. And we're so uncomfortable with feeling these raw, awful emotions that we push them away. And we have this, we can do it a couple ways. I mean, we can do a reactive thing when we have emotions we don't like. And when we're reactive, we're pushing those emotions out on other people. And that's when it's so easy to be angry at somebody else or at an organization or whoever it is you feel responsible for the pain that you're feeling. Or you can get you can take all that pain and you can push it in and give yourself a good little beating and just tell yourself, I'm a loser. I am never going to figure this out. I don't even know why I bother trying. I'm just going to go, take all my toys and leave the playground. And both of those are normal things to do. And you absolutely can go through a period of doing that. The damage comes is when you stay there and you don't move past that, and you don't allow yourself that self-compassion, that raw vulnerability, and just to feel your feelings. And then from it, I mean, there is a gift in there, and the only way to get to the gift or enlightenment or anything like that is you got to go through the muck. So in these situations, there is a gift. We just don't always see it right away, and you got to go through the hurt and all the yucky to get to the gift. So that's kind of what we'll be talking about next Friday in the group. But I did want to read you a poem, and this is one I've been reading in my classes this week. It's by Danna Faulds, and it's called The Open Door. A door opens. Maybe I've been standing here shuffling my weight from foot to foot for decades, or maybe I only knocked once. In truth, it doesn't matter. A door opens and I walk through without a backward glance. This is it then. One moment in a lifetime of truth. A choice made, a path taken, the gravitational pull of spirit too compelling to ignore any longer. I am received by something far too vast to see. It has roots in antiquity, but speaks clearly in the present tense. Be, the vastness says. Be without adverbs, descriptors, or qualities. Be so alive that awareness bears itself uncloaked and unadorned. Then go forth and give what you alone can give, awake to love and suffering, unburdened by the weight of expectations. Go forth to see and be seen, blossoming, always blossoming in your own magnificence. So take that open door. If you've been shuffling there for decades, if you've been shuffling there for a minute. And that's what I have for today. I'm going to see if this worked. I'm going to go onto the Facebook page, and if it worked, yay. And if it didn't, well, then I have something to learn. All right, guys, we will talk to you later. And if you like my little sprout, it's kind of cute. All right, I will catch up with you soon.